34 years old, as is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Thompson, the much taller party, not in the slight favorite at -135. The underdog champion Woodley at +115. Woodley is in black. The southpaw Thompson is in white.
And I wonder why he's a favorite. Do you think it's because he won the 5th and final round of their first fight?
It's a good question, man. I really don't know. I think they're just trying to draw two-way action, but I thought maybe Woodley might have closed as the favorite, but Thompson, slight fave tonight.
It's interesting hearing what Wonderboy said, that he believes he's got Woodley figured out, and that he believed he figured him out towards the end of the fight. And Dom, you were noticing that that Wonderboy has put on some size.
Yeah, when you see them size up each other right there face to face, you see the size in Wonderboy. He's definitely put on weight. And he's tall too, so he's tall and bigger.
There's that front leg side kick by Wonderboy, and beautiful use of movement. That front leg side kick, he uses it better than anybody in MMA. And he does it effortlessly. He slides in with it and sticks you right in the stomach with it. And if you just stand there, he'll hit you with a round kick right afterwards.
Woodley not going to wow you with volume. He will with pressure and power. You can be sure Thompson will be mindful of those flurries.
And it looks like Wonderboy wants to put the pressure, just follow Tyron. Feint, 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 get Tyron to explode, and then counter out the back foot while he's moving backwards. Not a lot of people can counter moving backwards. Wonderboy can. Now you got Woodley. I mean, you can't ever just throw with reckless abandonment with him because he's too darn powerful, too explosive, and too fast. You have to respect that and take your time with him and be patient, just like you see Thompson doing.
Well, Thompson is just so well schooled as a striker. He's really never reckless in his attacks, but always aggressive.
Two minutes have gone by here in round one. A little bit of a feeling out process perhaps early. But as we mentioned, Thompson very patient, doesn't force things.
Well, Tyron Woodley has been in this position before where he gets pushed back to the edge of the cage and he looks to explode. Like he's backing up and he feels the cage touching him. He looks to explode off of it. But certainly he has much more options defensively if he's not back to the cage like that.
Immediately following the main event, don't miss a recap of all of tonight's action from Vegas, the FS1 UFC 209 post-fight show. Karen Bryant, Kenny Florian, Brian Stan, and Megan O'Leary. It's on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go for those watching in Canada, TSN.
If you think about it, Joe, it actually kind of makes sense with Woodley's style because he's so powerful. It's such a gift that he has, the power and the speed and the athleticism, really it is, that the fence actually creates a barrier so he can find his range without using any weapons, because the fence puts Wonderboy in an exact range because he can't go too far forward or too far back. The fence actually creates a zone where Woodley can time his right hand without setting it up.
Looked like perhaps Woodley was going to welcome that flurry to set up a takedown, but Thompson was in and then he was out.
Notice no low kicks in the first round from Wonderboy. I guarantee you that was something they went over after getting taken down in the first fight.
Yeah, he's gone high and he's thrown a lot of those front leg side kicks.
Crowd getting a little bit testy here, but Woodley will want to set up counters here. Not going to try to get into a firefight and a volume contest with Wonderboy.
He's being very patient.
This matchup requires patience because of the threats that both these guys have.
Oh, beautiful leg kick counter by Woodley. A lot of power to that.
Woodley just misses to the body.
Wonderboy, hands down, such an odd style. Really point karate-based style. He's so effectively transitioned to MMA with.
have more output and didn't. They're trying to get him to have more output so it's more decided in his end. I think it's a good read on his corner's part. But it's a different story when you're fighting Wonder Boy and he's standing in front of you in the middle of that octagon.
That wide stance, just slides right out of range. He's so far away. He's tall and he fights long.
And he fights backwards being tall.
You see the center control for Wonderboy Thompson, 85%. And Joe, perhaps to your point in round one, if you get down to that criteria of octagon control, it was certainly Thompson through the first 5 minutes.
Good body shot by Woodley, and that's a good game plan, is just start throwing to the chest of Wonderboy. Just sling it as hard as you can to his stomach and his chest, because it's hard to hit him in the head. And if you aim for Wonderboy's head, it gives him better counters for his striking. If you aim for his body, it's hard to counter body shots.
Sometimes when you get to the elite levels, this is the way the fights can play out. A lot of mutual respect for the power coming back on both sides.
Now this is what Tyron's corner didn't want, is him waiting on Wonderboy. Tyron needs to go now, move forward a little bit, get those 2 punches back so he gets the respect of Wonderboy.
Yeah, Tyron is definitely not active enough. I would like to see him use that inside low kick as well.
Just over 3 minutes here to go in round two. This approach from Woodley doesn't necessarily dovetail with what we heard from him here during fight week. All but guaranteeing a finish.
He's essentially playing Wonderboy's game.
Let's look
He's
for a
playing
takedown too, kiddo. Takedown. Get that jab going. Stick it with it. Let's right hand takedown. Let's get on it. Inside low kick.
I mean, Wonderboy can fight like this all night. My concern would be, if I was in Woodley's corner, is that he's utilizing a lot of energy, anticipating things, waiting on things, and he may slow down.
Doesn't even look like Wonderboy's barely sweating out there.
Yeah, he's so comfortable fighting like this.
And that was a nice flurry for Tyron. I mean, he did land there. It wasn't super hard, but he did land. He needs more of that. He can do that. It's there for him.
But you might have seen Duke Rufus and Dean Thomas desperately trying to get Woodley to follow up that flurry and move forward.
Blue's got to cut to the punch.
Yeah, it's like he's waiting for things to happen for him.
Well, he already cut Wonderboy with that one right hand that landed, and that just tells you the power he has. The more patient he is, the more power Tyron has, and the bigger it's going to land when he does land.
Showing him that kick.
Because Wonderboy's not doing a lot either, other than feints. He's not throwing a lot of weapons. I mean, he's throwing some, but not a whole lot more than Woodley.
He's looking for that counter right hook as well, Wonderboy is. There's that front leg side kick.
I think that would be a good weapon to keep using from the outside where he's at.
Look at that, he switched it up with a round kick as well. That's what I was talking about. He sneaks that front leg round kick over the front shoulder.
Looked like that might have caused a little swelling underneath that left eye of Tyron Woodley. 7-7 in terms of significant strikes landed now through 9+ minutes.
I mean, not a lot has been happening, but most of what has been happening for Wonderboy.
Well, because he's pushing forward.
Pushing
basically.
forward.
Been feinting and trying to pull something out of Tyron.
Well, and for a judge, if you can't determine a winner based upon effective striking and grappling, then you go to aggression, and then lastly, octagon control.
There's that front leg side kick again. He hides it right behind the jab.
Now, if you think about the offense of Thompson's on every opponent he's ever had, you got to give credit to Woodley, because Thompson doesn't have that kind of offense on Woodley ever, the last 2 fights.
Good kick to the body.
Yes.
By Wonderboy. going to the body. Now up top.
I like to see Wonderboy keep going to the body of Woodley, because if he goes to the body, then it's hard for Tyron to time a shot underneath his punches.
Fifth straight time Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has prepared for a 5-round fight. Just over a minute now to go, round 3. Thompson to the body.
Again to the body. He's doing a good job with that straight left to the body, and Tyron's trying to get it back.
And if you're Wonderboy here, less than 40 seconds to go in the round, given the takedown, gotta think some offense here would help him. In terms of the scorecards, 30 seconds to go. Right hand over the top is good for Woodley.
Oh, big left hook by Wonderboy.
Joe, maybe his best, which Dom, here's the takedown.
Nice single leg transition, head on the outside, and then he pushes Wonderboy to the fence. That way he can get him to square up and get the double the way he needs to. You can't just shoot straight double legs on Wonderboy, and those are the most effective takedowns to go for when you're striking, because you get a hold of both the legs. When you go for one leg, they slip the leg right out. So those are hard takedowns. Wonderboy's stance makes it very difficult to shoot on him.
There was a nice left hook that landed for
Wonderboy Thompson for all the welterweight marbles. Thompson again working Woodley to the outside of the octagon. Woodley again with one of his patented flurries. Wonderboy, though, still hovering around that 30% in terms of his significant strikes landed. Head strikes advantage Woodley. So, Dom, what's the mentality when a tactical fight plays out like this? You've been in a lot of 5-rounders.
Yeah, right now we're just seeing these guys try to make reads, and they don't want to overcommit, because if you overcommit, somebody's going night-night. Right. They both know that, so they got to be careful, and they're just being very focused. This is a tough fight, and they're very evenly matched.
Well, this fight playing out far more deliberately than their first encounter.
Wheel kick. Wow.
And that came out of nowhere. There was no read, there was no anything on that. So that just shows you how quick Wonderboy can be.
Woodley always does a pretty nice job of keeping that right hand high, and that partially absorbs some of the damage there.
Well, his defense is looking great if we're talking about striking, because he's not opening up a lot, but he's still not getting eaten up by Wonderboy. And Wonderboy goes out there and knocks everybody out. He's not doing that to Tyron. Tyron's fighting smart. Threatening the takedown really slows Wonderboy down and limits his tools.
And in all fairness, Wonderboy recognizes what's on the line here, and he's being quite cautious as well.
Agreed. Both of them are very cautious. They have to be. And they know that. Just like the first fight. Looks almost identical so far.
Significant strike story. Both have landed 25. Woodley slightly more efficient, though. Woodley trying to find a window to get inside. How much do you hear that crowd, Dom?
It just depends on the big loud noises you hear, but they're not landing huge shots, so there's no haste really that it's creating here in the crowd.
Immediately following this main event, recap of all of the action is yours on the FS1 UFC 209 post-fight show with Karen Bryant, Kenny Florian, Brian Stan, and Megan O'Leary. It's on FS1, streams live on Fox Sports Go. If you're watching in Canada, TSN.
So Wonderboy land a left hand, and you saw Woodley land a right hand. 1 for 1.
Wonderboy's doing a good job with that. He's trying to throw that check hook. When you see his right leg forward, you see front leg kicks and occasionally a back roundhouse kick. But when he spins, it's almost always with his left leg forward.
Right now, what Wonderboy's looking for is for Woodley to commit to an overhand right and then hit him with the counter right hook. That's exactly what you're talking about. That's what you're seeing right there, Joe. He's just trying to pull out Woodley's right hand, right hand, right hand. That's all you're seeing over and over is Wonderboy wants his right hand to be thrown so he can counter it.
Yeah, and he wants to sneak that right hook in.
And he's throwing that left.
Oh,
nice move. Good.
Beautiful.
.30 seconds now to go in the round. Woodley with a flurry, but again, that right hand to the chest not doing much of any damage. Just 2 takedown attempts thus far for Woodley. He secured one of them.
We might realistically be looking at a situation heading into the final round where Tyron Woodley needs to stop Wonderboy.
Corner's telling him that, so that's going to limit some of Thompson's movements and his what he decides to use offensively.
Yeah,
but Woodley's coming hard like he needs to.
You see the urgency in Woodley's approach.
But this leaves more openings for Thompson.
Sure. Woodley continuing to close the distance here. You heard Duke Rufus call for takedowns, action, and no backwards motion. But again, precious seconds continue to click off the round 5 clock here.
It's just so hard to fight this style of fight with Wonderboy. I mean, that's his style. Look, he slides back, sticks a side kick in your stomach. And this is what he made his kickboxing career off of. This kind of movement, this kind of fighting, this is what he does best. And Tyron is just, other than that one takedown, not really had a lot of opportunities to do what he does best.
Well, the more Woodley tries to come forward, the more effective the right hook of Thompson becomes. And that's what you're seeing from Woodley, why you're not seeing him just go and explode, because Thompson's doing the right thing with that counter right hook, and he's sliding to the weak side to throw it, as you see. That's why he's going to the right when he throws that right hook.
He's also always in a great position. He's sliding just out of the way of where Woodley can hit him, but inside the range of where he can hit Woodley.
And both guys coming in were hell-bent on producing a more definitive result, and at least here with 3 minutes and change to go, perhaps more questions than answers when it comes to the top of this UFC welterweight division.
Big reach by Tyron.
Yeah. Well, the numbers tell you Woodley has landed slightly more strikes. He has been the more efficient party. We shall see how the judges see this one if we don't get a finish here.
But isn't that counting the shots that he landed when he was on the ground, when he was holding him down?
Great point.
I mean, they count in that round, but I don't think it's indicative of the overall performance in the fight itself.
Yeah, very fair.
But then again, you're not seeing a tired Tyron Woodley. He's still capable of knocking Wonderboy out or anybody out.
Agreed. He's not tired at all, Woodley. And neither is Wonderboy. I mean, these guys have a lot in the gas tank, both of them, but they can't over-exert themselves because then they're open for counters from one another. They're both so slick and hard to time.
Well, but if you don't set yourself up to potentially get knocked out, you got to live with the scorecards.
Agreed.
Yeah, Tyron's just trying to sprint on him. Just looking for those openings to just jump towards him.
Under 2 minutes now to go.
Look how Wonder Boy keeps his right foot on the outside of Woodley's. That gives him the edge with that left hand and the left high kick.
There it is.
Right hand partially lands for Woodley, but he's one and done.
And that's another reason you're seeing Thompson in his southpaw stance so much too, is it takes him away from the right hand of Woodley.
Well, Dom, would you say at least that Woodley has answered the command of moving forward from Duke Roufus this round? Hasn't been backing up.
Definitely. He's moving forward. I mean, I think he could have done this sooner and then had scorecards more in his favor. But he's doing what his coach has said. I think he could try some more takedowns. I mean, he's only got this round left, so he might as well just let it all hang out.
Yeah, not much time. Less than a minute to go.
He's definitely not going to get tired in 1 minute, so. There it is. And now you'll see him sprint, I think, because he knows he's seeing the end of the race.
He's got to be careful of those counters as he rushes in.
Oh, knockdown for Woodley.
There it is. He got him.
Another knockdown. Less than 30 seconds to go. Oh, uppercut for Woodley.
There's the sprint. And he's going after it.
Wow!
Another right hand for Tyron Woodley.
He's going to get Woodley the win right here. Exactly this. It's exactly what he needed.
Thompson continues to circle out of harm's way.
Wow!
A big fifth round.
That.
This fight replay, Joe, brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you.
This is early on. Here's that takedown. There's that counter right hook. Now this is the end of the fight. Like right there. He's in big trouble here. And you see Big John taking a very close look. There's a right hand over the top, and then another one.
5 rounds. We go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Derek Cleary scores the contest. 48-47, Woodley. Saul D'Amato scores it, 47-47. And Chris Lee scores the contest, 48-47 for the winner by majority decision. And still, the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world,